Hey guys, John here. I'm going to do another upgrade on this gaming rig. Right now I have two regular standard hard drives down inside the bottom of here, and this motherboard is capable of doing an M.2 solid state drive. Now if you've never seen one, this is it. This is one kind. This is a Samsung. It is a 1 terabyte M.2 slot. Now, it's important to understand M.2. These are PCIe devices, 16x speed PCIe slots, and what they've done is they've integrated these micro solid state drives and these micro slots onto motherboards so that you can take up a lot less room and enjoy a lot more space. But the slots they're keyed. There's an A key, or no, there's a B key and an M key. So if you have just this slot on the left here, I don't know if you can see it. That light might be in the way. There we go. So if you just have the slot on the left, and this one is not there, that's B keyed. If you have one on the right, that's M keyed. This is, if you can guess, is B and M keyed. So what that means is if I have an M.2 slot on my motherboard that is B or M, this would work. There are some other ones like an A and E key, like this one. This is a 512 gig card. If you can see the difference in the slots, how this one they're like we're close to the edge, but this one is like almost in the middle. This one here has 4 pins on one side, 6 pins on the other. This has 12 pins on one side, on the smaller end. That's an E key, and this is usually Apple being proprietary as they usually are. They like to be a little different. E keys are pretty famous for Bluetooth cards, Wi-Fi cards that you have in your laptops. This is actually I think this is actually an Apple. Yeah, this is an Apple Wi-Fi card, and this is your standard run-of-the-mill Wi-Fi Bluetooth card that you would have in your laptop. So what we're going to do, one more thing. The great thing about these is you can, where is it? You can take these and you can buy little adapters that allow you, instead of putting this into a laptop or a computer, you can put them in, put the little screw in, put a cover on it, and then you're good. There's also, which I thought I had one around here and I can't find it. Oh, here it is. You also have one. See, this one is designed, if you can see the little slot, this is a B keyed, for a card that's B keyed. This is a B keyed slot. If it had both, it would be a B and M. And then what this does, this slides into a nice little case. Let's see if I can get it in there. And it has like a little cap on it, and then it has a USB connector, USB 3 connector, and it's similar to a thumb drive. You just have a little cable that goes on the end, and you don't need a power supply. You don't need anything else. It runs off the power through USB. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove this video card. We just pull the power off. We've already disconnected power. We've already pulled the card for the monitor, and let's see if I can show you. on the other side of this, there are some screws we need to do here, and these two screws here. These two actually release the card. This releases this little back plane panel that slides back and allows you to pull the card out. So, I'm just going to loosen them real quick. Put down that antenna. Now, like I said earlier, that a lot of people don't realize you can do this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to install this, and then I'm going to actually move my Windows 10 operating system, and I'm going to show you how to do that too, from one of the hard drives down here to this 1 terabyte drive. Now, inside here, let's see if I can show you this too. Right above the card, right back here, there's a white tab. We just barely see it. To release the card, you have to push that tab in, and that releases a notch on the card, which I'll show you once we get it in position. So I just reach under here, push that notch, you'll feel the card pop, and then you kind of wiggle it back and forth, and the card comes out. So here's the notch that little white tab, which is right here, that's what it catches on when you lock the card in place. So we're going to set this over here and get that out of the way. Alright, so here's our M.2 slot right here, and you can see it is by looking at the notch, you can see it on the back side. It's actually an M. So you have B and you have the M, but because this card here is a B and M, it should, so you have a little screwdriver. You have a little screw you have to remove here. And depending on where your card sits, it looks like mine is going to sit right where I need it. Okay. So you stick the card in, just get it until it pops all the way, and it's kind of spring loaded. You want to line up the hole and get your screw. Come on. It kind of helps to have go. Before you tighten it all the way down, make sure that it's in right and it's lined up correctly. And then go ahead and torque it down. I mean, you don't have to put it that tight. Then we put our video card back in. Line this up, get all the cables out of the way. Make sure your slots are all lined up. Push it in, and you'll hear that latch snap into place. And then make sure it's in there secure, nice and tight. Push your little rail back into place. Use your screwdriver. Tighten it back up. Secure the card brackets back in place. Man, I can't even hold a screwdriver today. Okay, this one in. Would have a little bigger screwdriver, but that's alright. I run display port, plug that in, give me my power, plug that in, my video card, line these all up, and plug that in. Actually, should have plugged in the video card before I plugged in power, but it's alright. Ain't gonna hurt nothing. Alright. Pull these back down, put them back under here. These are fan cables. And that's all lined up. Now we're ready to back this out. Okay, so now we're ready to crank it up and show you how to clone your operating system to the new solid state drive, and we'll do a little benchmark on the hard drive before and after and show you what we get. Alright, this one, I'm rebooting the computer now because I want to see how fast it reboots into Windows. So the first thing I want to do though is go into the BIOS and check to make sure the new M.2 drive is being recognized. My monitor keeps switching its input. As soon as it sees the system go down, it goes to whatever is active, which is my Mac. So here, I go into the BIOS, go ahead and hit storage, and I can see at the bottom there, M.2 slot 1 has a Samsung solid state drive at 1 terabyte. There's the Western Digital drive. It's my original drive. So we want to go ahead and save it and let the computer go ahead and boot into Windows. And we'll see how long it takes. So once it reboots, start reboot now. We'll go ahead and start my timer and see how long it takes for Windows to come up. Now this is with a standard 7200 RPM physical hard drive, mechanical hard drive. Here I got the MSI logo up. I usually don't like that. I like to see the boot up while the motherboard boots up. So I'm gonna disable that later. Okay. Windows up at 50 seconds. 50. Okay. So we're now booted up. This is a program that I downloaded. You can find it on the internet free. It actually does a clone of one drive to another. Make sure you delete off all the old partitions, anything that's on the old drive. I had done some messing around with that before I started this. And you go ahead and run through it. It's really simple to use. This is just a warning saying, hey, you're going to blow all the data out. And it starts cloning. It's not that difficult. You just select the drive you want to clone. When this software first comes up, it says there's a little option there, clone drive. You just click on it. It asks you what's your destination, and just hit enter all the way through, delete any of the old partitions, and then click OK on the warning, and it does everything for you. And when you see how fast this does an entire 1 terabyte drive, you're probably going out and get this yourself. Yeah, when this thing's done, it completes in about a little over 10 minutes. You can't beat that to clone an entire 1 terabyte drive. It's called Macrium Reflect, and it's free. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to boot it up into the BIOS. We're going to go into settings, change our boot priority down below. Primary is going to be the M.2 drive. Secondary is going to be our mechanical drive, our old drive. Then we're going to go back. You can check it by hitting primary 1. You can't really see it because of the way the monitor is. But we'll go ahead and save it. And then we're going to start a timer now on the new Windows. Last time it was 50 seconds. Okay, timer's on. Booting up. And done. 13 seconds. Significant improvement. Hey guys, that's pretty much all there is to it. Once you get it cloned, showed you go ahead and change the boot to boot up on the new one. You saw the difference of how fast it boots up now. The key is making sure you know what kind of M.2 slot you have, that you're buying a M.2 card that matches the slot you have. Your best bet is to buy the B&M. Make sure it has both. That way you don't have to worry on which one you're putting it into. I truly doubt you're ever going to have an A or an E, unless it's, like I said, it's either an Apple or it's a Bluetooth card or a network card or an Ethernet card. I mean, there are so many different peripherals you can buy that are PCIe that now use the M.2 slot that you can get just about anything. You can get adapters that you can put multiple solid state drives into and plug it into a micro SATA port on your motherboard. There's all kinds of neat things you can do to your computer using M.2. So if you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, subscribe. Tell some people to subscribe. If you got any questions or you got any comments, drop it in the comments below. Let me know what you think. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some LED strips to this gaming machine, since it has a LED port on the motherboard. Why not? Add some color. Have a good one.